Good evening.
Hello. How are you
Hello.
guys?
I'm good. We are back for episode 20 of this show.
20. Can you believe?
Not really.
20. That's incredible.
How have the three of us done 20 episodes of this in September?
I am really happy, to be honest, to hang out and have this kind of easygoing chat with you and having people over and, I don't know, lose ourselves into the beauty of fountain pens, inks, stationery overall.
Yeah.
Watercolor.
And Kari, this is like one of the first times in months when you don't have to speed get home, right?
Yeah, that's totally. I love that. I love that. I am on vacation now. I can say I'm ready to do creative work.
Yeah.
I've been kind of hanging around with friends at cafes and browsing the city. Very touristic-y.
Nice.
You're already on vacation. I leave for vacation at about 5 a.m. on Friday morning.
Ooh.
And so I think this is like the last quote unquote work thing I'm doing before I have to actually finish packing.
Wow. How long are you planning to be on your vacation?
That's a great question.
No plans.
I have filmed content like I am going to be away for a month. Do I think we're going to be away for a month? No.
No.
But I am a fan of contingency plans.
Yes.
And so
That's
I have filmed and edited videos until the end of July.
Okay.
And so I will be typing up descriptions in the car because I have not done those. But other
Yeah.
than that, everything is done for content so that it won't seem like I've disappeared off the face of the earth when really I have disappeared off the face of the earth and I'm in the woods somewhere.
Yeah. What I have to say is that I'm going to Toronto on the 12th.
I know.
Which is, the anniversary of Toronto Pen Shop, and I will be hosting a workshop, kind of a journaling event outside the shop. You know that there is a little bit of a table set up outside the shop. Hopefully, we will not have bad weather. But yeah, at 2 p.m., July 12th. So if people want to come and join me at Toronto Distillery District.
Ooh, oh no.
Yay.
I don't know. I think that's a very kind of, slippery slope for you, Kari. Distillery. Oh no.
Not my favorite, but I will be outside journaling. That's my thing.
I always feel so bad because Nelmar invites me every year, and I thought this was going to be my year to make it to the event. And instead, I'm like, I might be back for it, or I might not be. We'll see.
We'll see.
So if I'm back on the 12th, I will have to swing by.
Yeah. I hope to see you if you're back. Let me know.
I will.
All right. So, topic of the day.
So the topic came to Marina and I on Monday while I was painting tiny trees on a live stream. And for lack of a better term, bitching, because I was annoyed. And Marina I suggested, I don't know how we came to the topic.
Well, you said you have to prepare for travel. And
yeah.
Then, we don't have a topic. And I was like, well, that's the topic.
It was like, well, now we have a topic, is travel. Because something Marina and I've talked about over the many years we've been friends is that we both have vastly different setups when we travel. And I think that's the case for a lot of artists. Some people travel very minimalistically, and some people don't.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely fall into the latter category. With no shame, I fall into the latter category.
Yeah, I have to be there too.
But another thing that came up as a topic was in the chat was, what pens do people travel with?
Mm-hmm. And that's very different too.
Which is also very different. There are some people that leave their very expensive pens at home don't take them out of the house, don't want them to get damaged. And then there are some people that go, I own this thing, I want to use this thing. It's not just going to sit at home in a box.
Yeah.
And so we thought it would make an interesting topic today, which is the pens we travel with, what we travel with as artists, and all of that fun stuff.
Exactly.
All right. So let's start with high value pens. This is one of my high value, the grappa. And so here's a question, and here's a bit of a, I guess, feeling / devil's advocate from what I've heard. Like our friend Hemingway Jones is like, well, this pen is not only that I want to use it and it's high value, it's the safest with me. And so that's kind of the idea of it. If I take it with me, I know at all times where it is. So would you guys do that?
I think it depends on the pen. And I realize I've left my Galen Folio upstairs, and so I'm frantically texting the fam to get somebody to grab it so that I don't have to climb 2 flights of stairs. But also, if people have any questions, feel free to leave them in chat.
Or opinions. Do you take your high value pens with you? Would you?
Yeah, I actually take my high value pens with me depending on where I'm going. If I am going to a camping site, I am not taking the expensive pens, but I feel like I will take any pens at any time depending on what is inked and depending on the vibe of the activity. If I am going to a cafe, I easily will put expensive pens in the bag. But camping site and maybe to an outdoor event, or if I'm hiking, we're talking about a different setup, which it will be a different pen. But I don't mind bringing the expensive pens with me at all.
Yeah, like I definitely don't mind bringing the expensive pens. And I will say, I yesterday cleaned, these are just the bodies of pens, the nibs are somewhere else. I cleaned 27 pens.
Ooh.
Because these have all been inked up. And I've talked before, like I have fun pens and I have content pens. So I have pens that are being used in videos, and I've got the pens that I'm daily driving for the fun of it. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're not. And it's been a very heavy content pen month, but also some very fun pens. And so I had to get it under control before I left, because if they were left for 3 weeks, it was going to be a disaster. Thank you so much. I love you.
The mom.
Oh no, it's Maya.
Sibling.
Oh, Maya.
The sibling saved the day.
Hey.
Oh yeah, no, we're live on camera. Bye. Thank you. So, yes, I can show this. Sorry. I had to pack something in a very rare place in my life. I am in possession of something that is not yet released.
Ooh.
But it gets released. I can't show. It gets released while I'm on vacation. And I have a petrifying fear that like iCloud is going to be hacked. My photos of it are going to disappear. And so I have packed it with me. But it is not in this folio. And so I can show the folio. I briefly went, oh shit. But no.
So, I don't know if it's a high monetary value, but it's a high value to you. So
it is high value.
Would you?
It's
emotional value.
It's high value. And that's the thing. Like I'm traveling with, in my pen case, a Platinum 3776, a custom ground Decimo, a prototype pen from Rob, and a Sailor with a music nib.
Ooh, I love it.
And this is just in my folio. Like I'm going on vacation, but I'm going on a vacation where I know that I'm going to have downtime to be artsy. And so I have brought pens with those expressive artsy nibs so that I can sit down and be artsy and be creative. But I also know that I use my folio every day for taking notes, and it was always going to come with me. I am not taking my Mont Blanc pen.
Ooh.
It's just not coming with. I don't feel the need to travel with it. As much as I love it, I just didn't feel the need. So I think I'm traveling with 10 pens in total. I'm traveling with
number
4 in here, 4 in my slip and slip, and 2 pocket pens. And that's it.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's not it. Sorry, that's a lie. There's a black pen that we're going to talk about because Marina knows about it, inked up in my Delphonics pouch. But it's really, I think, all about figuring out what you like to travel with. Like, I don't know what pens Mom's going to travel with. I suspect Mom is going to travel with between 4 and 10 pens.
Yeah.
And that's just like how we sort of operate, because there's also no point. I don't see the point in leaving them at home if they bring you joy. They're going to bring you joy to use them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
Why are you
that is my next question, and Kari will respond to both of them too. But how do you select your pens, Alexandra?
Oh, in this case, it was just... This is going to sound awful. Part of it was joy, and part of it was like showy off things. We are going to be around people that have known me since before I was born, known Mom since she was a child. I wanted to bring some of like and some of them understand pens, but I wanted to bring like the cool stuff that I've gotten to explore in the past year that I didn't have last summer. I also wanted to ink up the things that are really exciting me right now. And that is the platinum with a coarse nib. That is my Sailor Music that I've already ran dry once and had to re-ink. And I've only had it for 6 weeks, 7 weeks. And when you're running like 40 pens in the studio, that takes serious effort.
Yeah.
Rob's pen has been a favorite for a while. I think I'm traveling with Michaela's White Bear pen as well. There are some things, though, that I just wasn't going to travel with. I was not going to travel with the Heinz Yinmin Blue prototype pen, because as much as I love it, at the end of the day, that is fairly irreplaceable.
Yeah.
I can go out and buy, or theoretically, I could go out and buy another platinum. I could commission Rob to make me another one of the pens that he made me. Replacing that Heinz prototype is harder. I'm less likely to travel with a prototype unless it's to a pen show. I will say I do travel with prototypes to pen shows because it's sort of fun to get to pull out something that no one else has at a pen show, when a lot of the time we're seeing the same things at pen shows.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah.
Very good.
I travel with my prototypes to pen shows, and that's about it when it comes to traveling with prototypes.
Yeah.
All right. And so how about so we're counting pens as pens, and then you have that one pen that you're probably going to end up sketching with, right?
Yeah.
And so with that, your supplies for watercolor painting, and that's a separate thing.
So yeah, and in my head, those are always two very separate things. So I guess the better place to start is last summer. So last summer, I took to the lake a very built-out watercolor kit. And I took watercolor pencils, and I took a whole bunch of stuff, and I didn't use any of it. And so this year, I've built a kit that still takes up a lot of space. But I've built a kit that takes up a lot of space of things that I'm genuinely reaching for at home almost every day. The one addition that I made at about 10:30 last night was I did throw in my mini Holbein palette. I have a palette of Holbein paints that has, if I can find the palette, sorry, as I dig in this bag. I think it's got 45 colors in tiny little mini pans.
Oh,
So
that's
it's got
I love it.
It's got everything I need.
Mm-hmm.
Should I want to paint, it has everything. I don't know that I'm going to want to, though, but I've got it if I want it.
Mm-hmm.
What I did, on the other hand, pack is what is missing from this cup up here, but is also in this lovely box set down here, because Faber-Castell kindly gifted me I believe this is the 48 set of the Faber-Castell Pitt pens, which have been my favorite for a very long time, which means I have my original set that I've had since I was a teenager, and I adore them. And they are what I am actually traveling with, because I know I like sketching with them. I know I like building up color with them, and they're India ink pens. And so I just really enjoy it because you can also layer them over watercolor really well. So I decided to go with a little watercolor palette and a whole bunch of these pens because they bring me a whole lot of joy.
That's so fantastic.
Yeah. All right.
They take up a great deal of this bag. Here, let me see if I can actually show
the bag.
How many?
Yes.
There's the pens. There's a Galen leather slip and zip, which fits perfectly in a Delphonics medium, which houses the other 4 pens. I've got spare paper pads here. Somewhere I've got blotting paper. And then there's like stuff in all the other pockets.
I love it.
And there's some random fine liners thrown in, because even though I'm really trying to like the Tom's Studio pen, I'm really trying.
Which one is that?
They have been in my radar forever.
I have one. Yeah, I have one.
I'm really trying to like the Lumos and the Ren. I really don't.
Yeah.
But I am like, I pack them. I'm taking a full set of tips.
Okay.
And
trying them out.
We'll see if I feel better about the Tom's Studio pen when I'm sitting in the woods in the middle of nowhere. Maybe I'll like it more. Maybe what I need to like that pen is sitting in the middle of the woods in the middle of nowhere when I literally have no access to the fine liners other than the ones I've packed. Maybe that's when this pen will really shine.
Yeah, and then you don't need to do anything but refill it, at home, right? It's like as the tips.
Yeah. Do you want me to go through all the other pockets now, or do you care?
Yes.
Sure, go ahead.
Mind. Okay, great. We have an Amodex ink wipe, because why not? I got it at a pen show. It lives in what is normally my show kit. We have flags, paper tags.
Oh, I love it.
Then in the big Velcro, we have 1,000,000,001 ink cartridges, all standard international, because why would I carry anything else? And sticky tack. White, of course. Because if you want to know how I took 90% of those pictures for Pen World, sticky tack. Greatest asset when photographing pens. And then we have the front. I have to say, I thought these were an overhyped product. I adore my Delphonics bag. It holds so much random shit. They're great. We have a pack of gum. We have, if I can get my pack of gum back in. Apparently there's something else in that pocket. Oh, no, just one of the pin backs came loose and decided to stab me. We have blue Gatorade Zero packets here. this is important because over here we have red Gatorade Zero packets and fruit punch. Because heaven forbid I run out of Gatorade Zero at a conference or anywhere as someone who can't sweat. It is a necessary in my life. I have this little 3D printed ruler thing that somebody gave me at a pen show once.
Very cute.
I have 4 or 3 little rolls of washi in a couple different colors. I've just thrown that. I have an Esterbrook bookmark. And then we get into the fine liners.
Ooh.
I have a Monteverde Dakota gel pen, which I don't think it's waterproof. I like it for sketching on top of watercolor.
Yeah, that works really well.
It's a very black line that just looks like a more vibrant black than a lot of other fine line pens. We have the Monteverde tool pencil.
Mm-hmm.
We have a Monteverde ballpoint pen, and then we have the pen that Marina knows about and thinks is really funny. Because this is my Retro 51 dinosaur pen.
Oh.
Which is filled with a carbon-based ink because dinosaurs.
And I think if my husband is watching, he might be a little jealous because he's into dinosaurs.
It's so cool. Like,
it's
look.
Such a cool pen.
Dinosaurs.
Yay!
Oh, so cool.
Dinosaurs.
Love it.
I love it. Somebody went.
I want that pen so much. It's so beautiful.
I got it from Gold Spot on clearance, and then Retro 51 restocked them. Yeah, so it's the Smithsonian one. It's great. I love it.
And
there
is here.
They're individually numbered. So this is 179. And I got it in extra fine. So it's my new sketching pen.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I totally love it. I always have also a pen with carbon ink, just in case, you never know when.
So I've had the rainbow one, which is somewhere inked up since December of 2023. But I really wanted the Smithsonian dinosaur one. And the Gold Spot didn't have it listed in an extra fine. And I emailed Tom and I went, would you switch this for me, please? And it was one of those things that I didn't know if it was going to be as funny out of my head as it was in my head. And then, like, the more people I told, the more people went, oh, no, it is really funny. It's stupid, but it makes me laugh. And apparently Lamy Petrol needs to go in it next because you can go back to that live stream from Monday and watch, as somebody told me, well, Lamy Petrol should go into it. And I went, well, that was a good idea.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think of that. So this is my Delphonics. On one side, it has an Esterbrook nib wipe.
Oh, love it.
And on the other side, it has a hotel room thing, which says not today, Satan. Because why not?
Oh, that's fantastic.
And that's my Delphonics pouch.
Yeah, very good.
I also have 2 Tintoretto synthetic squirrel paint brushes somewhere in that bag. Yeah. I don't know where they are.
So do you do number 4 and 6 or
I have a 2 and a 6.
Yeah, that works.
At the time I only had the money to invest in 2. And really I should have gotten a 0, but their 0 isn't actually all that much smaller than their 2.
If you can get it. Yeah, I figured a lot of people like them or something.
And so I ended up getting their 2, and then I got their 6, because even though 6 is bigger than I normally use in a painting, their 6 works well for washes and miniatures.
Yeah.
And so I got 2 brushes, And I'm probably 2.5 years into using them pretty much every day.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely starting to show their age.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think that Tintoretto makes the best synthetic squirrel brushes.
And that's what I was about to say, because if you're using them that much, and synthetic bristles are usually much more durable, natural stuff. I think that's remarkable.
Yeah. And there's like some synthetic squirrel that just doesn't hold water as well. But the Tintoretto synthetic squirrel are just fantastic. Their travel brushes, though, are hard to get.
Oh,
I got mine through Gortzman's, and Gortzman's frequently has them in stock, but they don't always have them in stock. And the last time I checked, Jackson's doesn't stock them. And so they're a bit hard to try and find. And so I'm just sort of like babying mine along right now.
Yeah.
Let me take a look, because also if you guys are getting a lot of commercials, let us know. I'm monitoring. I just got a commercial.
Okay. YouTube has changed their ad settings, and so I thought I had set it not to play ads, but I appear not to have. So I can play around with settings some more.
Not to
Fair
get
enough.
That's good. I also want to show you some of my travel brushes.
Yeah, I'm just looking for some stuff
because
to see if I can,
you're talking about synthetic
offer
brushes.
some.
Those are the most used brushes for me.
Yeah.
I cannot do natural brushes because I treasure those ones too much.
Yeah.
It's the Tintoretto 1327 brushes that I use.
1327. I think, I have 1326, which is number 8.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
As Deb just said, get that money.
Is that a response to ads?
Currently, getting that money is going into paying for Tori's next collaboration with Heinz.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, I had Tori on as well. Just like after we had her, I had her on as well. So there's some stuff.
I need to go check that episode.
I've watched bits and pieces of it. I haven't been able to watch the whole thing yet. It's been one of those weeks that like I haven't gotten to sit down and watch other people's content. Because as we talked about today, I have been working on a project, which is people had asked to get, if the show was going to be available on a streaming service where they could download episodes to listen to them on the go. And it has been available on YouTube podcasts for a while.
Yeah.
Several of my shows have been. But as of about 5:30 this evening, Eastern time, I have started to move over a lot of content to Spotify and Apple Podcast. So anything that works as a episodic thing where you don't really need to see what's going on, like this or Coffee Date, those are now available to stream or will be shortly available to stream.
Woo-hoo.
That's fantastic. Yay. Very, very nice.
All right. So that was, our commercial.
That was,
right there.
First segment.
That was our ad break, which is find us on other platforms this summer as we continue to take over the pen world. As Lori said, women are the trend in the pen world this year.
Yay.
Right. Yeah, I know. I think men have been, up there for too long.
Yep.
Yes.
We love everyone, but I think it's time for some purple pens and pink pens and all the other pens that are not
glittery, colorful, feminine. Yes.
So on that note,
yes.
Kari, What glittery pens are you taking with you when you
Oh,
travel?
I have a little range of, I need range, you know me.
Yes.
Depending on where I'm going, and I like to go out very often, I have different kind of setups. I'm obsessed lately with this one. I showed it this one before. I have my passport travel journal, and I
Okay.
have 3 pens. Actually, you can see the pens that I have right now. I have a purple Furore
Mm.
by Leonardo. I have a Santini.
Oh, I love that.
Ooh.
Yes. And a Heinz. Look at
Mm.
this. I like this one. And it has a purple nib. Very nice, because even though you cannot see, the inside of that swirl is purple. So it matches really
Ad
well.
breaks / proposal. If Centennial Heinz would like to sponsor our podcast,
Oh,
we're here for it.
Suddenly, this episode just became us shilling ourselves to brands, and I'm not against it.
by the way, that's kind of like my go-to now, because it's summer and I've been going to cafes, so I bring that one with me. If I have to go, let's say, to do some watercolor or anything, I like the miniature set, and I actually forgot to put inside the miniature fountain pens, but they usually go
Aw.
here. So it's a little vintage bag. I have it rolled because this one, I put it inside my bag.
Mhm.
I don't use it like here, you know. I I just put it inside the bag. And inside, I need to show you everything I have here, because people might be interested on what I you need to bring if you're
Mhm.
interested in drawing, painting, and then watercolor. So starting with the watercolor set, I kind of this liquid watercolors. I put it there, and then you can have your pad. I have the extra pad here. Some pages I have left
Mhm.
here. I have an extra pan just to do some mix. The watercolor. Let me show you. Oh, I cannot open it. Sweaty hands, guys. So bad. Wait.
That's why you have several. If you can't open one, you have the other one.
I will break my nails. Okay, I
No.
cannot open it. It's probably with paint inside.
Oh no.
Okay, so you have like 2 pans here that are empty, so you can do your mix here. Ah, I need to show you this.
Oh, it's so cute.
So I have this one. I got it at a stationery store here in Montreal. It's a mini pencil kind of situation with an eraser and a pencil sharpener. Q-tips, you never know when you need them.
So if you and Vanessa ever get together for the
Oh yeah,
miniature
totally.
episode.
So I have different size of black pencils. So this one is HB. Then I have a white kind of a pencil that I need. Eraser. I have a water tube with an extra
Brush.
pencil.
So how do you feel about it? I kind of stopped using them. And they
I
work for some.
I
I actually
own.
have it for water.
Okay.
It's just to put inside the thing. The brushes that I have are this one. So this one is a travel set that I
Mm.
got at a store here in Montreal. It's an art store. So it comes like in these tubes, and then you can roll those ones out, and they
Okay.
become a longer brush.
Mm-hmm.
Outside, they're made of stainless steel, and they have the number. This one is number 4. I don't remember the brand. I actually removed all the
It's a
tags.
bay, possibly.
Oh, they look
Like
like
it
it.
could be.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm looking at mine.
they are
I
really
find it.
expensive.
possibly Isabe then. Is it
Yes. So I have 3 different sizes. This one, I use this one to wet the page.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I do after I use them, I let it dry and then I put it back. But the best thing is that they are very, very portable. And as you saw, all the things that can fit in this little pouch is insane. I have an extra eraser right here.
Oh,
And an
it's
extra
so tiny.
pencil sharpener because you use it. And here, this one is a 1920 set. I have
Oh goodness. Oh yeah,
I have a scissor and I have an extra pencil
yes, you
with
and
a
I have
lead.
similar ones. Propelling pencil.
I know. Yeah, same one here. So that's it. That's the cutest thing ever. Let's put everything on the side. This one was in my purse and I had to put it out. I take this one when I go hiking.
Okay.
These are made of brass. I have the Lilliput Caveco, I have another Caveco brass, and I have a Gravitas.
Okay.
So that's when I went hiking the other day. I took this one when I went with a friend. We went to get smoked meat. We took this one. So now talking about journaling, because journaling demands a little bit more. It's a different situation. So if I want to journal with stickers, I will bring this one, which is a compact variety of washi and stickers and lots of stuff. I want to show you without anything falling. Do you remember those bags that are made for men to carry their stuff?
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So inside those little boxes, you can see here stickers.
Nice, nice. You have it all kind of figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in here, I have extra ephemeras and more stickers. On the other side, let me show you, because this side also carries some clips, some paper clips, extra frames, and of course, Esterbrook page marker. I have these clips also to put on the pages, and that's kind of the travel kit. And this one, if I have to go to the Sip and Show, for example, I will bring this one. Inside, I have a travel journal. This travel journal is kind of a junk journal, but it's a travel journal, really, really a travel journal. So when you see here, I want to show you, because you will see, for example, when you travel, you get all these ephemera of the shows that you attend. I collect those ones and I put them together, like this one when the Toronto Pen Shop came to Montreal.
Okay.
So I have pens in here, because that travel journal will hold some ephemera cards and stickers. I need my glue, double side tape, labels, and this is more like a glue situation. And my fountain pens. What I have here are the Leonardo, because this pouch is a Leonardo pen pouch. And I got a couple of Magico.
Hey, how many pens so far? 7?
Oh, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 so far.
My count was off too. I was at 12. I had found 2 pens somewhere else, apparently.
Yeah. And I'm not counting the ones that I have in the purse now, but I always carry some in the purse. So anyways, you never know what you need. This one, the travel kit, is always goes in the carry-on, or
Yeah.
I don't put that one, like, I don't bring it in the purse. What I have in the purse is this one, which is the fastest passport size. Amazing. This one also goes in the carry-on. Yeah.
We have a little conversation about the weather.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's absolutely crazy. When you pulled out the gravitas, though, I realized that we've sort of skipped over some quite big pen world news.
Ooh.
It's that there is now a North American distributor of gravitas pens.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it the one in Ottawa?
No.
Who is it?
Drew Brown and Farney's.
Well, another
Amazing.
news is that he has now second YouTube channel. Which
I
is,
know. It's actually the third YouTube channel for Farney's.
Oh yeah, because he couldn't resurrect.
They are in the process of getting the other two removed.
Okay.
Farney's is now on its third YouTube channel, but they will also be taking care of, from my understanding, any of the U.S. warranty claims. It will no longer be going back overseas. It will all be handled domestically.
Good. Because wasn't that one of those problems with gravitas?
It was. It's almost enough to make me get a gravitas pen.
Yeah.
It greatly increases my chance of getting one.
Yeah. You need to get a gravitas. I have a couple of gravitas. Those pens make me happy. They have amazing nib. The size is just incredible. I like the pocket size. They have a mini pocket, which I didn't show you because it's not here with me. But I have a mini pocket that I adore. So gravitas, hands up. I adore.
Right. So if Gravitas or Bennu Pens would like to sponsor,
I like Bennu pocket. Sorry.
Because I haven't tried either, so I'm open.
Listen, I will give you the answer. All the pens. That's it. All. A-L-L. All the pens.
I have to say, so I got my hands on the Bennu. It's in the midst of being cleaned right now. The new Bennu Briolettes before they came out. Kate sent me one.
Nice.
I got my hands on the Amethyst Tide. I'd seen the original ones. The new colorways are stunning, and they are so sparkly that you cannot photograph them. They flare on camera. They are so sparkly. And I've looked at other people's PR pictures for them, and they do not convey how sparkly this pen is. I'm sorry. When you have this pen in your hands, you go, how have they actually created something that is this sparkly? It is like you are looking at a handful of glitter.
I love it.
Yeah, it's absolutely
I adore. I got all my pens last week, and then this week I was like, oh, maybe I need to switch some pens. You know, you need to give love to all your kids.
Yep.
All right. So this is your preview of the
Yes.
end. Yeah, if you sponsor us.
Do you ask me the questions?
Yes. So
do we have more questions?
No one said any of us were professionals nor knew how to do an ad read. And until somebody's actually handing over cash to sponsor us, they will get our weird little shout out sponsorships randomly thrown into videos.
Ooh.
You know it. All right, Kari. So what's your philosophy of how you choose pens? So is it something you just got recently, or is it something you really love? How do you choose the pens you're going to take with you?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned before, I want to give love to all my pens. So it's a situation of rotating the pens. That's my main issue. I want all the pens to be constantly inked, and I rotate them in order to use them. Right now I have the Leonardo out, but last week were the Bennu. So I normally go by brands. So I have lots of Italian pens now. But I rotate. I like, for example, pens that give me joy, for when Alexandra mentioned that before, glittery, colorful pens, pens that have a good ink inside. So even though the pen is black outside, if the ink inside makes me happy, I will take the pen because of the color that it has inside. I need a variety of color because I use the pens to do the art. And sometimes I use the ink inside the pen to paint. So I put a drop of ink somewhere, and then with the brush, I will do the painting with the ink most of the time. So I think it depends on the ink that lives inside the pen. That will be my answer. What ink is inside the pen is what will make me take the pen with me. But rotation is important. So any pen. If I go to the pen shows, I will bring a huge variety of pens, and most of the time I like to bring those kind of more expensive on the high end level so people can see. And then again, the pens that I like that have, I would say, a little bit different type of nib or a different type of pen maker pens, I will usually bring to shows because they have a different shape, they have different color, and then I want to kind of share the love that I have for those pen makers at the pen shows.
Yeah. No, I do the same thing. Like, nothing other than things that like need repairs or nib work, nothing I pack for pen shows is normally off the shelf.
Yeah.
It's all things that are different or unique. Either like sometimes they're just like hard to find from brands, but like sometimes it's things like my custom pen from Rob, where he has straight up told people that he is not going to make that cap for other people. But people wanted to see it in person, and so I brought it to Chicago. I like being able to show things off at shows that show off a maker's skill set.
I love that.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I really like that. So the kind of intermission / a bit of a shocking thing I've learned from Kari, that she apparently has some black pens. How many do you have? You famously hate black pens.
I don't hate black pens per se. I hate, for example, people that criticize glitter. I think pens are beautiful if they have a beautiful shape and they are classic pens. Pens with rose gold, they will call my attention. And you will see the last post that I made, I took out my black pens out. And I have carbon fiber pens that are black. I have black trims. I think I have some here. Let me show you. So this row is all black pens.
Oh,
nice. All right. So I see 5?
Yeah. So I have this one is fun. This one is a humongous pen.
Ooh, wow. Yeah.
Is that, what is that?
Monte
Grappa or?
No, this one is a Monteverde.
Yeah.
Super mega.
Okay.
Yeah. And then on the same kind of a family, I will have this one, which is a Regatta Sport.
Ooh, yeah.
But I really appreciate that pen. I don't know.
It's a very pretty pen. I have a couple Monteverde pens that I haven't filmed stuff on yet. Like I have their new titanium Manova on my desk, and that's a stunning pen.
Yeah, something about this pen is that I own the original, the 1920.
I know you do. It's so nice.
So this pen, I need it in my life because this one is the 100th anniversary of my original pen.
I absolutely adore that I have that pen in the demonstrator version.
Yes.
It makes my little nerd brain so happy to have that pen in the demonstrator version, where every time I ink it up, I can see the entire mechanism working. I've used your pen I know that I still find it satisfying when it's not a demonstrator, but it being a demonstrator just makes me so happy.
Yeah. I have the Pilot Justus also, which is a black pen.
Mm-hmm.
But it has like a little body. The body is not like completely plastically flat. It has these kind of lines.
Oh, okay.
So I think I like black pens that have good nibs and they look beautiful. I just don't get only black pens. I like to get all the pens. When I said
Yeah.
all the pens, I wish I can get one pen from each pen maker or one pen from each brand. So I have a huge variety of understanding what is out there, you know?
Yeah.
And I like that. I like to try pens. I like to review pens. I like to show pens. Yeah. Some pens work best, some pens not so much.
There's so many pens.
Yeah.
There's so many different brands, there's so many different models, there's so many different nib sizes. Like there's so much variation to choose from.
Mhm.
And we're also constantly seeing new things right now, or brands bringing back old models back into rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and talking about that, I'm gonna have a video up tomorrow.
Ooh.
Oh.
So, you know,
Very
I
nice.
I don't release them a lot, but when I do, I do.
When you are releasing videos, you hit them hard. You're like live stream, video, live stream.
Yeah, I might even schedule this one, you know, and just have it go, you know, so people know
That's
what's
it.
coming.
Very nice.
All right, Kari.
Marina.
So you have you showed us everything?
Of course not, but I would like to see what you have.
So I'm actually a minimalist of the group. I am not someone who drives.
Okay, but okay. I feel like I need to say this is not what I. Were we not driving? Were we not going away for 3 weeks? This is not what I would pack. Most of the time when I travel, I am traveling with a single pen case, or recently the Galen leather folio. It is purely because I know I'm going to have downtime. And I also know that I'm going to be in the middle of nowhere. And it's when I'm in the middle of nowhere that I'm going to go, oh, I wish I brought X. And I'm going to have no interest in the single art supply I packed was.
Yeah.
So we're just avoiding that this year.
I mean, it's a good philosophy. I mean, and that's the thing. There is no right or wrong answer for this, right? And so it really does depend where you go. And you guys already discussed pen shows, and traveling to pen shows will be different because you kind of have to show something, or, you know, it's just, there is a purpose to it, right? That is different than when you go away on your own with your family, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just is what it is. And, you know, if I could, I'm thinking about it, you know, if I was taking like, if I was driving somewhere, I probably would, you know, things would change for me. But like, I don't know if a lot of people know, when I travel to Europe, for example, and I stay for like a month or 6 weeks usually. And so that's a long trip. And so that also changes kind of my perspective of what to bring. I think the biggest amount that of pens that I brought maybe are somewhere close to 10 as well. I would say 8 probably is my kind of limit, what I take. When it comes to kind of like, do I take high value stuff? I take my Mont Blancs with me. Not all of them, but some of them I do. And I guess it's not quite the reasoning of like, you know, if I know at all times where they are, they're safe. But the reasoning is, if I can use them, I should use them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just how it is. That's also kind of my personal collection is I love my collection, but I am picky at what I have just because I want to be able to use stuff. If I don't use it, I move it. Um,
Yeah.
so it's kind of that type of philosophy for me. So personally, I don't have the 6 pen case on me, but it's usually about 6 pen like hard shell cases. If I'm able to, I'll take with me. If not, this is my absolute bare minimum and what I just take with me like daily in the bag. Just like a pencil. And I usually have I love my Santinis. You guys know
Oh,
that.
Santini is
So I
beautiful.
have this guy. And then this is awesome for sketching. That's the Mayfair pens. That's
Oh, I love
the Mayfair
that.
pens
Okay.
I have.
I love that.
So this is fun. Lasts forever since it's eyedropper. And this is just like, everyday kind of carry situation for me. And if I'm going away for a long time, it will be that hard shell plus this.
All
Yeah.
right. We have a couple questions, and so before you
Ooh.
continue, we're doing some questions. Do you travel? I'm going to ask all three of us with ink bottles or with cartridges. Do you take spare ink with you when you travel?
No, I would honestly recommend if you have heard of, I think Visconti is a little too expensive. Pineider has those traveling inkwell.
Yep.
The inkwell.
Yeah, and you can get it, I think, with like several discounts, different stores. You can get it much cheaper.
Gold Spot, I think, has them on sale currently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's what I would like. My thinking is I like those cartridges just because traveling it's
Yeah.
easier on the plane, that right. And this is like why I have that Santini. It's the only cartridge pen they have. And then for the rest of it, just get those Visconti inkwells or Pineider inkwells or something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Kari?
I did travel with ink samples. So I took my pens were empty, and then I took ink samples for my pens. So I took about 5 when I went to Armenia, and then with those 5 I did like a lot. I took couple of ink samples and 3 of the diamond ink pen bottles. So those ones I took.
And so, what's your philosophy when you choose the inks? Is it like your favorite ink?
I normally marry the pen with the ink. So once the ink found the pen, I will never change it. Or if I change it, it will be in the same color as the pen. So I will have to choose the pen and the color. And I always travel with one green, one black. I have a couple of blues and pink or purple.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's a very good selection.
Mm-hmm. So I travel with cartridges. I travel with all my pens inked, but I travel with cartridges. And I travel with a single vial of permanent black in a 5 ml sample that contains about 3 ml of ink. But I also just wrote an article for Gold Spot all about this, actually. So you can learn all about pens for travel, tips for traveling. It builds off of a Gold Spot travel article from a few years ago with some updated advice, but also some specific flying advice. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah.
And just traveling by plane, the ink samples, you have to make sure that you wrap the ink samples individually with film. And then if you have to put it in the pouch with all the liquids. So what I've done is like, because they are wrapped individually with the film, I will put it with the toiletries. So everything will go with the liquids.
Yeah, it has to go in the liquids bag if you're flying. And I've flown home with ink bottles before from shows. I individually Ziploc bag every single ink bottle.
Yeah.
So that if something spills in the flight or if a bottle breaks, it is only affected that one bottle.
Exactly.
I also kind of tape that little part, when you're when the cap meets the body
Mm-hmm.
on the ink container.
Yeah. I never tape my sample vials. I've never had issues that have involved needing to tape.
Yeah.
I've been lucky and that hasn't been an issue, but I do individually bag things when I'm flying home from a pen show.
Yeah.
And then those Ziploc bags just get reused for every pen show until the zippers stop zipping. Has anyone received the new Serpentine Twisby?
My friend Deb did.
Yes.
So Deb was here before. She could have answered that question about the thoughts. I don't have any thoughts because I haven't gotten. So
yeah. So I like the colorway. I hate Twisbys.
Same.
No, I don't hate Twisbys.
Yeah,
I don't hate them.
I love Twisby.
I don't hate them. I'm just like not into that specific model. Diamond is the one that I prefer mini for like sketching.
So that's the thing.
Diamond.
I have not spent enough time with a diamond in my hand. I really do not like an eco.
Yeah.
I have now spent over a year of people telling me on 20 questions how great an eco is, how much they love them, how great they are for beginners. I hate it. I don't know if there's a pen that I hate more than a Twisby Eco. And that's hard to say. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo.
Well, hi, though. The Mondo has been there on the Monday when you and I talked. So he's an old friend now.
Oh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Yeah. That would be annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I never put inks in my pens when I travel. Like just to avoid whatever. The only pen that I had ink and I never had issues was the Opus 88.
So Opus 8, because I had to write this article for Goldspot, or I got to write this article for Goldspot, I got to do a whole bunch of research on the Opus 88 filling system. It's really cool.
It's really cool.
Like,
I never had an issue.
I had an Opus 88. I knew I really liked my Opus 88, but discovering that like the Opus 88 is the only eyedropper pen that's safe to fly with because of the Japanese valve system.
Exactly.
Is sort of crazy.
Just, boom, fill it, done. It will never have any issue.
So here's what here's what I would love if you did, Kari. I would love if you tested Mike and my tips for flying for DC, for flying with your pens.
Oh, but I'm driving to DC this year.
You're driving to DC this year. Because I'm like, can Mike Madison and I put together a competent list of flying to pen shows? Because I'm pretty sure we can.
Oh my God, I would love to test everything.
Because now I need somebody to test it.
Listen, I'm traveling to South America at the end of the year, so I can do a lot of testing there.
Because like Mike did the like practicality stuff, and I did like and he did that like back in 2023, and then I did like here's the specific filling systems, here's the specific pens. Yeah. Here's what you travel with. Ooh, we have a volunteer.
Oh, yes. Okay. Hired.
I look forward to hearing about it.
Yes. So funny.
All
right, Marina, we sort of interrupted you.
Oh, that's fine. I'm the minimalist of the group. So, I'll take the better pen. And like the thing is that I don't take a lot, but they have to be like the stuff that I really love. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this pen is like everything. I'm going to take it with me. Mm-hmm. Or, something I'm testing, or it's just like it's slightly eclectic, but I'm not opposed to be taking like, this high value pan with me.
I would say like that's how I travel. It's like eclectic and high value and like a bit odd. Like do I need to be traveling with 2 architect nibs? No.
Mm-mm. Yeah. That's how I roll too, man. And then, I mean, I love this thing. But to be honest, sometimes I'm just tired. I don't want to use it all the time. So I need a different pen. Like, I love it. But it's like a weird broad that is not quite broad, but it's Japanese broad.
Is that your Decimo?
Bigger than medium.
Yeah, it's odd. Like, it's pleasantly wonderful, but it's just not a broad. And
So I had the same issue with my Sailor broad. It was not broad. It was a medium, and I want to say it's now in Julia's possession because there was some musical nibs that went on at Chicago. It's either in Julia's possession or Karina's possession, but I remember seeing it. Them pulling out the pen and going, "Oh, that's where my nib went."
Yeah.
Like I'm just not a fan of Asian broads, I'm discovering. I like Western broads, but I just don't like a broad nib that doesn't really know if it's a medium or a broad.
Yeah.
And that is the weirdest sentence I've ever said on this podcast.
Yeah. The Japanese broad nib, I really don't mind the Japanese broad nib because I understand that there is a difference between the sizes. So when they say broad and the pen comes from Japan, I do understand that it's a little bit thicker than the medium, but it's not a broad.
No.
Yeah.
American broad. But I do accept that they write well. I always call it like a juicy medium because it glides fantastically well. You can actually do your line and understand what you're writing. But for me, that I'm used to stab nib, music nibs, zoom nibs, I need lots of ink.
And I think that was my issue with my broad is that it was not wet enough. Even with an incredibly wet ink in it, it just was a dry nib. And so I wasn't enjoying it. Whereas now that the pen has a music nib on it, I utterly adore it.
Yeah.
So.
But music nibs are fantastic.
And that's kind of like bring that topic back. And as far as Japanese pens go, when I show you something else. But before I show you that, now I'm moving on to the paper.
Ooh.
Again, just a little book, but my paper has to be premium, as I think Alexandra understands. It's high-end watercolor paper.
To be fair, I'm sitting here going, I don't know that I actually packed watercolor paper.
Yeah.
So we're finding that out right now.
And then going back to Japanese pens and where are they? I feel like they're the most useful. And I think journaling in sense of like agendas in like smaller spaces is where they're kind of most practical as far as like the width goes, that is not like maybe as wide as Western stuff is. And so there's something I haven't opened yet, but some of you might know I have a birthday coming up next week, and this is one of the things I'll be opening. I've never had travelers.
The red.
The red is so pretty. Atlas just got them back in stock, and I've got affiliate credit. But I really want an Ian Sean pen. And so I've been going back and forth. Like, do I want another full-size traveler's cover, or do I want a
think
pen
about it for a long time?
You know what? I got the red
left.
There's another restock coming in August. So I've got time to figure it out.
Just to tell you a little bit about the story. When I got this journal, this is a red journal, no kidding, like 2 months after I got the red one, they released the red traveler's notebook, and I was already with the red. Anyways, I love red covers. If you don't have one, you need one.
Well, so my full-size cover is olive.
But and that's my second favorite.
It's an olive that's very brown from whatever batch of olive it was in. There's some olives that are very yellow. My olive is very brown. This is apparently the watercolor paper I have packed, which is the Travelers Company watercolor
I have it
paper.
too. I think
Can I find any details on the internet about this watercolor paper? No. Am I going to have deep regrets about packing this? Okay, great. I guess I'm packing mini Legion pads. Thanks, Marina.
So I am
packing more paper.
Taken it out.
Yes.
And it feels like a studio, like a very beginner studio watercolor.
Interesting. Yeah. See, I always figure that when a paper doesn't say if it's cotton or not, it's probably celluloid. And I even just translated it from Japanese to English, and it doesn't say anything about having cotton in the paper, but Midori does make a cotton writing paper.
Wow.
And so
the way I feel like you have great fine liners with you, right? You just showed us. And I think that's actually going to be awesome for them.
Yeah.
And for watercolor, maybe not so much.
Well, I'll throw in, I've got some mini Legion pads from when Jackson's decided to sponsor me last September for whatever reason. So I will.
What is it?
Oh,
we got all the paper. Can we get paper?
We need to. We warned the people. Yes, we warned.
Honestly, if I could figure out a way to tell YouTube tonight that like it was safe for advertisers without having ads on with the newest studio update, it would not have ads tonight. But I can't figure out how to make that change, and I was too tired to go find somebody's tutorial video on how to make that change after figuring out how to put the show on Spotify.
Yeah, we announced that at the beginning. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Well, whatever. We're an hour and a half. We're an hour and 15 minutes in. I feel like it's time to give the people a reminder that, like,
yes.
Yeah. Well, it's what it is, man. Tough for everyone.
Yeah. So when you fly, because Kari and I answered this question, and I honestly can't remember if you did or not. Do you fly with your nibs inked, or do you fly with your pens empty?
Empty.
You've already answered, Kari. I'm not asking you.
I mean, again, I've never had any problems with cartridges ever. And that's what I'm trying. Like, if I journal on the plane. So again, when I travel, it's either East Coast to New York, which is like 5-ish hours.
Yeah.
Right. Or I travel, my second route is always Europe for 11-hour flight or something like that. And it's like when I journal, I only journal like longer flights. And that's what I do. I just do the cartridges. So there is, never a problem. I took one of my vintage Mont Blanc with me. That was like piston fill. Okay. And thankfully I didn't have any problems, but I just forgot about it. I just took my regular rotation with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, avoid if possible.
Well, I've started a poll over on YouTube. No, your filled pens do not have to go in a liquids bag.
No, they don't. I've never had any problems whatsoever.
No.
They consider them to be the same as markers or anything, which even though are filled with a liquid, they don't have to go in a liquids bag.
Yeah. No one ever asked me what is this pointy thing you're carrying ever.
Yeah.
Maybe it was flying back from Chicago last year that I got stopped by security in the airport.
Yeah.
But they just wanted to open up the suitcase and put eyes on them and make sure the pointy things were pens and not knives.
Yeah, that happened to me.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen in Canada, it happened in France. So we landed in France and we got stopped on the side. You have knives in your bag. And I'm like, go search, open. You're allowed. I give you my full permission to open and that. And they open the pens and I say, do you want to write? You can open and see the pen and you will see. And then the other guard says, they are fountain pens. They are fountain pens.
Yeah, and I think this is the main thing. People just don't know what it is. Right?
No, and like you might make a TSA friend who loves pens. I had a very confused Canadian border guard who was like, what do you mean you were at a pen show in the States? And I was like, I was at a stationery event in the States. Like, it took far too long for Dad and I to explain that, yes, there were really people so nerdy that we went to a hotel in the suburbs of Chicago for the weekend to buy and sell and talk about fountain pens. Yes, those people exist.
People like us.
Yes.
That travel everywhere for pens.
But I would also say, like, I have made friends with so many people who I had no idea used fountain pens. And like when I'll pull them out to take notes in a meeting, we'll go,
yeah,
oh my God, that's a fountain pen. And I'm like, yeah.
All right. So I have a question for you guys, but also for the audience. Do you have a funny kind of like travel story about pens and you? And second one, what is your kind of the funniest encounter? Like, where have you seen people who use or mention fountain pens and it's like the most unexpected place? Like for me, it was a wine tasting.
Ooh.
It was a wine tasting, like there is like a very upscale neighborhood, not too far from us. And so my husband is like always very kind of like proud about like what I do and about a show. And so he would be like mentioning that to the wine tasting personnel. And one of the guys is like, oh yeah, I have a Mont Blanc and like I bought, my daughter uses Lamy and stuff. And it was like very unexpected because it was like a small shop. It was exciting. They had no idea there is like a pen show, but like they were into fountain pens unexpectedly.
Yes. Yeah, in my case, I went to a course at school. Teachers, not all the teachers will write with fountain pens. And it's really weird that you will have a person writing with a fountain pen next to you. So I was sitting, pulling out I actually took the Esterbrook to that trip. And I opened my roll of Esterbrook and I write, like take my first note with that one. And the lady was like really, really shy, putting a Pilot Metropolitan on the table there. And I'm like, oh my God, you have a Pilot Metropolitan. And he said, I cannot believe you know the name of this pen. This is my first pen. And she got into fountain pen last month. So I was like, oh my goodness. We started, instead of talking about learning and pedagogy, we talk about fountain pens the whole day.
So the first story that pops into my head is not necessarily about using pens. It is about a 20 questions guest.
Ooh.
And the episode has not aired yet. There are several episodes coming out in the next Chicago Pen Show season of proper 20 questions. But there were 2 kids that knew the show and came to find me because they knew the show and they wanted to be on it. And their dad said yes. And then we filmed an episode with their dad as well because their dad wanted to as well. And then I had to look up their dad because I had to make sure I had his name spelled correctly for this episode. And there are moments that I go, but why did you talk to me? And it was one of those moments.
And I guess we'll figure that out when it airs.
Because he is an assistant professor, a medical director, and seems to be the head of nuclear cardiology at a place in the US. And I'm like,
fantastic.
But you wanted to talk to me on camera about your children's pen habits?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so my husband's probably listening, but like the one thing that so he has one fountain pen that he uses, he likes, and turns out that his boss, someone who is high up in a very, very famous university here, is a fountain pen buff, and he has a lot of fountain pens, and that was very unexpected. But very cool.
Oh,
yeah.
That again brings to mind a second story. There was a time that I was working on getting the head of the Ontario College of Physicians on 20 Questions. It never panned out, but they are apparently a huge fountain pen person and frequent all the pen stores around the city of Toronto. And that was a weird time in my life. This is also a crazy story. It seems to have nothing to do with pens, but I love it.
That's so funny. My goodness.
That's fantastic.
All right. So wait, read it out for those who are gonna listen to us later.
Yeah. Do you want to read it, Marina?
Okay, so the Mondo says the last time I went to Canada, the Mountie I got was going to the same concert I was going to Canada for.
And the Mounties are our Mounted Canadian Police. I don't know what instance you would have run into a Mountie, because I can literally name on one hand that I've run into them outside of Ottawa.
We have a Mountie in the Fountain Pen Society in Ottawa. The Ottawa Fountain Pen Society. There is a Mountie there.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So. But apparently the Mondo has another one.
Yeah.
On a flight.
That's actually. That's so cool, filling up the form with the fountain pen.
The couple in front of us used to use fountain pens in school, and I had my pen to fill out the form we had, and that led to them looking up and ordering pens.
Yeah.
So I ran, well, this has been going on. I ran a poll over on YouTube because I can do that now, apparently.
That's amazing.
And 66% of people fly with their pens inked.
Wow, that's
all right.
33 do not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Both are understandable.
You know what? I need to test more.
Yeah.
I will have to go.
The reality is, like, there are safe ways to do it. And I think both Mike and I had the same conclusion at the end of our things. Like, we don't see a couple drops on a nib or a couple drops in a cap as being a full explosion of a pen. Yeah. Air pressure changes are going to cause a little bit of leakage, no matter what. But
even though if you pull back the ink, I am thinking maybe
it's worse to have the ink pulled back. You want to have the least amount of air possible.
Okay.
And so that's why cartridge converter pens inked up with a converter are great. Or lots of people swear by flying with a vacuum pen. I've never tried it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm open to it, but honestly, I have one from TWSBI, going back to TWSBI.
We're really harking on TWSBI tonight.
I don't know if it's TWSBI.
Don't mess up with my TWSBIs.
I don't think it's TWSBI's fault in this instance, but I think it's the VAC might just not be for me. But I'll try it again, like I'll try one more.
I like that I've gone, I don't think a VAC is for me, and I have still using a mixture of affiliate credit and writing credit ordered a Visconti Homo sapien. I know I don't like VAC pens. Like, I hate cleaning them, but I'm going to commit to having one color of ink in this pen, and I'm just never going to clean it.
Yeah, or just don't have it demonstrated. I feel like that's what I hear. It's the Pilot, right? People love Pilot. I want a Pilot, but those are see-through demonstrators. And
no, the Visconti I got is a see-through demonstrator. It's the Iris Garden. It's purple. It's see-through. It is very pretty.
Wasn't the first Navaler a vacuum one?
Yeah, the original Plus. I've got one somewhere, which is how I discovered
So you do have a vac.
Yeah. I said I've got one, which is why it's stupid I've bought another one, knowing I hate cleaning them. Like,
I had one. That's why I'm like...
I despise cleaning them. I never ink up my Navaler one because I hate cleaning it.
But you know what? If you have it inked and you constantly use the same ink in the same pen, I think you have less cleaning because you're going to use the same ink and you constantly will refill it. So
the real issue is I need to commit to an ink for that pen.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I have not committed to an ink for that VAC pen. And so I probably, in the 10 months I've owned it, cleaned it 5 or 6 times. And it's just a pain to clean. You think it's clean, and then you tilt it the wrong way, and there's more ink.
And so this is where, kids, you just dip your pen and choose the ink.
That's true.
And stick to it.
This is an interesting suggestion. It could become my carbon black pen.
Yeah.
I could put carbon black in
your TWSBI, and it will be
it's not my TWSBI, it's my Navaler.
Oh, the Navaler. Okay.
It's the Navaler. But it's the Lavina graphite, so it's the black and sparkly one.
Oh.
Is it in this tin? I've got a pen tin sitting next to me, but I'm not going to be lucky enough for it to actually be in this tin. I'm not. I have every other Navaler pen in this tin, but unfortunately, it's up there somewhere.
I have so many pens. I can say I could easily keep the same ink in the same pen because of the variety of pens that I have. And I have more inks. The inks that I have, especially those pens that I love the most, are the colors that I like the most. So I have more inks than pen, of course, but I don't know. I try to keep in the same color or the same ink all the time in that pen. It works for me, and I don't know, less cleaning.
I tend to only switch when I've actually fully cleaned. And yeah, I would say I complained with 2 couture pens last night for several hours while I cleaned pens.
Oh no, Shannon, you're not here.
Shannon's not here. Shannon's busy living her life because this is just a percentage of what I cleaned. And these are just the bodies.
Yeah.
Because I knew that if I left them here, they were just going to be gross by the time I got home.
I think the cleaning needs to happen eventually because, to maintain the nib, to maintain the flow, sometimes the shimmering inks will leave some residue and you need to flash the pen.
Even the sheening stuff,
and I'm a fan of a hard collection reset. Like, I am a fan of, and I did it before the Chicago Pen Show, because I knew I was going to come home with pens, like cleaning everything and then taking a look at what I actually wanted to ink and take with me.
Exactly.
And only inking those things, knowing that I was going to come home with pens and I was going to ink pens while I was there. So there was no point in me having 20 things inked up at home.
Yeah.
I like a good hard reset of my pen collection, and I just don't like the process of spending a couple hours cleaning nibs. At some point, I will invest in an ultrasonic, but that has not happened yet.
Yeah, I still go old school. I like to flash the pens and wash the pens. Yeah, that's my method. Ultrasonic is too fancy.
I usually find that cleaning my pens is a nice, relaxing experience. I usually have a fountain pen-related video playing in the background while I flush them.
Ooh.
I wish...
the cleaning of the fountain pens.
I wish I was that zen cleaning pens.
I'm not.
I have done them on a stream before, knowing that like I was not. If I like didn't live stream it, I was going to procrastinate the experience. Turns out that is a shared thing. That live stream still gets views of other people who I'm assuming are procrastinating cleaning their pen collection because the watch time on it is crazy. And then I will also, like I did last night, call a friend and just go, I don't really care what you're doing.
Yeah,
I just
let's do this.
I just like need you to sit in my ear.
Yeah.
Just like just be in my ear.
Yeah, I listen to audiobooks. I sometimes watch a show while I'm cleaning pens, and I try to keep distracted my mind because there are so many pens I've been cleaning. So, and the reset that you're talking about, for me, it's all or nothing. So when I clean my pens, I clean them all at the same time.
Like I did everything except the 10 that are coming with me. And the eyedroppered pens. I did not clean my 3 eyedroppered pens because I went, it'll be survival of the fittest. Either they survive on my desk for the next couple weeks or they don't. They've had a good run.
All right. So I have another weird ad idea for a show. We could do like this weird ad with like, you know, like a fancy weird background music playing, which you like, what is this for? We can take turns doing this weird ASMR type of, you know, like,
oh,
do you need something to listen to while you clean your pen? There is a show called Desk Chatter.
Oh my goodness.
So that's coming to you starting September.
Listen to this. Now that when I clean my pens, I will imagine Marina
So, wow. You know, there are ways to hook you.
Had you already read this comment, Marina, or had it just like popped into your head?
I did not. No.
Marina's voice is going to make me think about cleaning pens.
Have you cleaned your pens yet?
Have you cleaned your pens? I'm getting to it. Now that I'm on vacation, I'm planning to do a big reset of cleaning. And this is something that I do after cleaning my pens, is to catalog again. So I want my catalog to be organized. So for example, if there are new pens that are coming in, I want a catalog by brand. So if there is a new pen that wasn't cataloged before, I need to do it again.
Yes, I like that one. That's what I'm going to read. All right, ready?
You need someone to hold you accountable.
I love it.
For your pen cleaning, watch Desk Chatter. We're here judging you from a distance and cleaning our pens.
And then the music goes something like, ooh, yeah.
Barry White. Barry White music.
Yep.
And this is why,
like, Henry
Cavill, this channel has no sponsorships.
No, but this is also why we exist.
It is. It is why we come to you on a Wednesday evening.
Oh my God, this was hilarious.
Arguably one of our best shows yet.
Yes.
Arguably one of our best shows.
So far. So
Um,
amazing.
Okay, one second. We were talking about where were we actually?
Yeah, I completely lost track.
It's gone.
Oh, listen, we need to ask Marina the question about what do you take into consideration when you travel? What pens? What was that question?
Did you answer that already? Pen flashes. All right. So which one do you use?
Yes.
Great. All right. I'm a big fan of the Monteverde pen flush. Not just because Monteverde sponsors my channel, but on occasion, but because it like actually works really, really well. Yeah. Thank you, Kari, for actually having the bottle. Like I was cleaning a white pen or a pen with a white grip section last night, and red ink got on the grip section. And it dyed the grip section, and 30 seconds of sitting in the Monteverde pen flush was enough to remove 98% of the ink from
over the years. My second bottle here.
Yeah, I'm about to be starting my second bottle. It removed about 98% of the ink from the grip section, and really, if you didn't know it was there, you'd have no idea, and that's all I needed.
Yeah.
And so on top of it working really well to like actually flush pens, I find it great for spot treating white grip sections.
Totally agree.
You use it straight.
We dilute a little bit.
Do you?
I do just a little bit.
Okay.
I have to get ready for it, so you keep on talking.
Because
you can put it directly.
I think you're supposed to use it straight.
Yeah, I dilute it a little bit because I want to make it last longer.
Okay. Yeah. Again, Monteverde sponsors a great deal of pen content on this channel, and so
I
have no concerns. I've always used it straight, and I find using it straight works quite well. I know that there are other ink removers. I've got an Amodex ink wipe. I find Amodex works well too. Really, I think you just have to find whatever works best for you. What I like about the Monteverde one is that it works incredibly quickly.
It is the fastest one, I think, especially with those shimmering inks. I have a couple of rubber after inks that were really, really hard to remove from the pen. And I used the flash. It was the only solution I got, because then those inks, I don't use them anymore in pens because it's too much bitter.
I use it all the time for removing shimmer inks or inks that are just really like, if I flushed a pen 3 or 4 times and it's just not coming clean, like I'm going to end up doing that with Tesla coil. Like that pen just isn't coming totally clean, and so I'm going to end up flushing it with pen flush. But I also use it for cleaning up waterproof ink.
Yeah, waterproof ink cleans very well. Carbon ink, very, very well.
Yes.
I use it for I had a Beno with carbon ink, the permanent ink.
Yeah.
And I had to flash it a couple of times because it was like, not coming out.
I guess I'll answer this question then. Marina can show off her color. So you're not just putting Tesla coil back in that pen. It is too humid to be daily driving Tesla coil right now. Any moisture in the air is causing it to not absorb into paper at all and to feather really weirdly. So I think I'll probably put it back in the fall when it's less humid. But it was time for the pen to be cleaned out just because I wasn't able to use it. And I didn't want it sitting for several weeks. And I will say, Couture pens can tell you how much I swore last night cleaning it. Like it was, I probably flushed it for 15 minutes. And
nothing.
I thought it was clean, and I put it in a cup of water to soak overnight, thinking like, okay, we're clean. The cup of water is as blue as Tesla coil ink is. It does not look like I spent any time flushing it.
I don't have that ink.
Yeah. So that was an adventure last night.
Yeah.
Right.
I am going to test out. I like to test out permanent inks, and I just ordered Monteverde Permanent Black.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. It's the first time me trying permanent inks from that brand, and I tried out Colorburst. I tried out Platinum, Diatramentis. I have. I have many permanent inks, by the way, but the Monteverde no. So I am going to try out. Let's see how it works with watercolor and if it feathers or not. That's my concern the most with carbon inks is the feathering. If they feather, it's like, oh, I cannot use it.
All right, Marina, what's your pick for a pen flush?
I mean, I hope Drew is watching this because I got a preview of what our ads could be like. Do you find flushing your pens to be bothersome? Is it hard to achieve? Well, I have a solution for you. Try the new Farnese. The Farnese pen flush is what you've been waiting for. Well, that's what I'm using at least. So. I mean, Drew, you
I'm going to cry.
What you
want. You better believe I'm sending this to Drew with a timestamp and no notes, which is honestly how Drew and I are communicating currently.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's so funny.
You want more of it?
No, because I really want YouTube to not take down this video.
Oh my goodness. It's so funny. Marina, I love you.
I mean, there's a reason why three of us have lasted for almost a year with this.
Oh
yeah. So to fill you in, Shannon and Amy, who are both going, I don't know what I walked in on. Somebody said it would be really funny if X sponsored you, and we went, that will never happen. And then people kept saying it would be really funny if X other brand would sponsor you. And now apparently we're just doing ad reads for people who aren't sponsoring us. So that's fun. Also, the podcast is now, and most of my shows are now available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So have fun with that this summer. And I cannot figure out how to turn off ads today on YouTube. So you're just going to have to live with them. There's the Spark Notes catching you up version.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, Drew.
Hey.
I'm just gonna send it to him with a timestamp.
Oh yeah, if he forgot, I'm the weird person he talks to about Japan travels, Marvel, and DC. I'm that person. It's me.
I don't even remember what two pens I started this off talking about, but okay. Sure.
It all depends.
I appreciate the ad revenue. It, lets me buy paper for this channel when Luxury Brands of America is not, being my paper dealer.
Oh, so
currently
cool.
Bryce is being my paper dealer.
That's really cool. Which paper is that? Is the Endless Recorder?
It's the Endless Regalia.
Oh, Regalia paper. I love that.
Oh, apparently I talked about the Sean pen.
Yeah. Oh, that's
really
right.
Like an Atlas. Yeah, it's really pretty. And it's an Atlas exclusive colorway.
Do they carry the monarch nib though, or
They
is it?
don't.
Mm.
But I honestly don't know
From
that
this
I've
time.
spent enough time playing with a monarch nib to get a monarch nib.
Yeah.
My time with them has always been very rushed, and I feel like I need a couple hours to actually sit down and play. Or like more than 2 or 3 minutes. Maybe a couple hours is far too much time, but I like actually need some time to sit down and play. Because a monarch nib is a lot of money. It's like approaching $600 Canadian.
Yeah.
And if I were ever to make that sort of investment, I want to make sure that I have picked the nib size I really like, because he does some really cool finishes, the finishes that I really like. And I do adore Ian's pens. So.
I mean, that's the thing, like, and you know, with various pen shows coming up, if one is thinking they can get them cheaper, like I've looked at them for a long time, even on eBay, like secondhand, they're still going to be holding the value for right now.
Monarchs are, and Ian's pens are something that really hold their value in the secondhand market, and that you don't see all that often. I have been searching for one in the Canadian swap group now for a year, and I have never seen one come up. When I talk to people, no one is getting rid of theirs.
No, because they are well made. I like the designs that they have. They are unique. The size is different. Everything, the nibs.
And like Atlas currently has, I think Atlas has 3 exclusive colors currently.
Wow.
And I've talked with Ian. I went, hey, are these? Because also there's a price difference if you buy them at Atlas. They are slightly more than if you buy them directly from Ian. And so I went, hey, are these exclusive colors to Atlas, or will you have them at a show? And the answer was no, that they were going to be exclusive to Atlas. And so it is something I'm saving up affiliate credit for, but that is a slow process. So if you do use affiliate links, thank you. If you use anyone in the community's affiliate links, if you feel like your favorite creator doesn't say thank you enough for you using their affiliate links, they notice that you use their affiliate links, and are probably incredibly grateful.
Yeah.
Oh,
the nib alone is $385.
And that's just for the plain polished steel version.
And I think they're going to be going up in price at some point, from what I understand.
You should be able to. You should be able to check. And I only say this because I know that people have. I get a notification with what people buy, as creepy as it is. And I have gotten notifications about people buying Nexi boxes before. So if for whatever reason that's not working, let me know and I will talk to the powers that be. As Shannon says, I almost cry every time someone uses mine. Definitely. Like they make such a difference, and creators are really grateful. You may have to click on the affiliate link and check out using it. You might not be able to use the code. That might be how people were getting around it. But I don't know. It's the honest answer. I just know that I have had products from their Discord sale come up in my list of pilots before. Because Pilot is excluded from discounts. Pilot does not allow their products to be discounted.
Yeah. Pilot, there is also Pelican, there is Twisby.
Pelican's on the discount list again.
Oh, but Twisby they don't allow.
No. So currently the no discount list is Pilot, Galen Leather, Esterbrook, Sailor, Penlux, and Colotino.
So I'll tell you one thing though. One time I had a discount at Atlas, was my birthday, I think last year. That's how I got my Galen Leather stuff. But that was the only time. I don't know if it was something they didn't see
Maybe
coming.
they offer us an Atlas special deal.
Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Pilot only does sales at a couple shows a year and at the Atlas Sidewalk Sale.
Yeah.
So Atlas Sidewalk Sale weekend, Pilot tends to run a pretty good special. At Atlas in person, I don't know if it's online as well, but I do know that last year, I think decimos were 130. They're either 120 or 130 US.
Yeah, what happened is that lots of pens have increased the price now with all these kind of money issues. So whatever price we paid last year, this year is
Yeah, but it's just like even last year, like they were still retailing for 175 last year. So paying 130 for them at the Atlas Sidewalk Sale was a sizable discount off of a Pilot pen. We just have no idea of knowing what discounts people are running at the Sidewalk Sale this year, though based on the history, it'll be anywhere from 15 to 30%.
Yeah. I would have a question for the people that is connected right now. And it's about the topic that we had before, which is the travel pens. And what would be the number of pens that they will travel with if they have to travel?
Ooh.
That's something that I would like to know in general, because I am a maximalist and I will try to bring as many pens as I can. But we found that kind of in between 8 to 10 was the number that we discussed in this group. I would like to know people out. How many pens do you bring on a trip?
I'm starting a poll.
Yay.
Go vote, people. And do you want to talk about your shop update, Marina?
Ooh.
Because
that's so kind of you.
You've
Thank
been
you.
posting about it on Instagram and seeing as people here are the only people that get a discount code. I feel like we should at least tell them about it.
Yeah, so I don't have a lot of discount codes left because times are what they are, and I make small batch stuff. And I actually was making stuff all day today, so it's slowly but coming to fruition. I'm not going to reveal the whole thing.
That's fair.
I'm just going to say it's going to be something that is very summer appropriate, very personal, and I would say unique in a way. There is a family connection to my next collection. A lot of my pieces are porcelain, as usual, because I work as a ceramicist. I work with porcelain primarily. That's my choice. So, and I'll have a collection coming up. I think in the 2-week time or so. So just if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do. I will also try my best to make a video on it.
That's good.
It's a very special one, very personal collection. And I haven't been making for a while. There was like a medical reason for me. So now it's kind of a comeback, and I do want to make something special. So if
I'm
you're so
already
inclined,
excited.
yeah, me too. It's
a
good one.
Honestly, I didn't realize how much I was missing seeing your new collection stuff until I was seeing it on my stories again, and like we were texting about it, and I was like, oh, like this is how like we met each other. Like this is how you and I got to know each other, was me designing a paint collection for a small shop and you working in your small paint shop. And I have missed seeing you've been creative in other ways, but I've missed like seeing the behind the scenes of the paint and the ceramics.
Yay. Oh my goodness.
And if people are not following me on YouTube or Instagram, I am more than happy. And I think we just, you guys we're gonna do this again next week, either on my page or your page, or on Kari's page, whatever.
We'll do it some.
Maybe we can showcase, for example, some of the palettes that you have, so people can understand eventually what you're saying. If you can have like a little sample of everything that people can
Absolutely.
see.
Well, I have some of my old stuff is here, but not the new one. So this is kind of like your standardized. I've had this for years. This is one of like not the first ones, but the ones I made. But when I talk palettes, that's what I mean, you know. And so I make artist grade paint. Mine are. I don't do a lot of shimmers or ever shimmers right now. I do some for myself, but mine are very straightforward artist grade paint that I make, very standard watercolors. So I make both paint and I make the vessels for them. And so this is why I'm Aquamarina.
Yeah. And one of my favorite things that you and I have spent a lot of time talking about over the years is both of our obsession with uncommon watercolor pigments, discontinued watercolor pigments, things that are harder to get.
Yeah, she has one of mine.
I feel left out, honestly.
No, you have yours because I have things packed, but I was like,
yeah,
are you coming out here?
Honestly,
there.
At this point, I will give you Claire's address, and it can go to Claire's, and because Claire's currently in possession of my Visconti. I needed somewhere to mail my Visconti, and I was like, "Hey, Claire and Peter,
if you're willing to wait until the Sip and Show, which is 4 weeks or 5 weeks,
I was like, can you babysit my Visconti?
I can bring it back. I'm going to see Claire at DC.
All right, Shannon's going to be there.
Shannon's going to DC, and she's going to SF.
Yeah, we have some answers about my question.
We have so many answers, and so I'm going to start with highlighting answers, and then we're going to go back to the poll because poll results are still rolling in. I just bring a few, one vac with ink in it, and the rest I'll do cartridges and fly with them empty and put cartridges in when I get there. Honestly, that seems very smart. Yes. I don't fly, if I'm putting cartridges in pens, I do not fly with cartridges on them because there's no way to get the air bubbles out of them when you fly. And cartridges are cheap as chips, and I would rather just buy a new cartridge than risk an ink spill.
Yeah.
2 pens. Now I feel like I need to know what 2 pens.
Yeah,
which 2 make the cut? How did you come to 2 as being the number?
That's actually a good question. I don't know.
Yeah,
some people can.
How did you decide that 2 was the perfect number?
Yeah, I want to know which pens
and which pens. Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on if I'm expecting to buy pens on the trip or not. Since I only travel with my pen roll, I have to have less than 12 pens. This is smart.
Okay, that's good.
I travel with an empty pen roll pretty much no matter where I'm traveling. If I am traveling anywhere where there is the possibility of going to an antique store, a secondhand store, I travel with an empty pen roll because you never know what you'll find.
Exactly.
But I don't want to dedicate case space to it.
Yeah.
One of my lovely YouTube members, I usually travel with 4 pens.
That's a solid number. Yeah,
it is. Well, because then you can have like 1 or 2 pens dedicated to work, and then you can have a couple fun pens. Ooh, we have an answer on the 2 pens they travel with.
Oh, Vanishing Point. Good choice. Good choice.
A TWSBI Mini Diamond 580.
Yeah, I mean that's my favorite TWSBI.
Yeah,
that is a great travel setup.
Yes, I have to agree. Those 2, and then the practicality of both of them. The diamond, you have the ink there. You can travel with lots of ink in a very small pocket pen. And then the other one, practicality, just 1 click away.
And it holds a fair amount of ink if you're re-inking cartridges put into it. But also, because you can get the Iroshizuku inks in cartridges. You have so many color possibilities for that pen. If I'm going to a pen show, definitely 6+ pens, because I would want to share my pens.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. I feel like I probably take too many pens to pen shows. But there's definitely like a little bit of like wanting to show off like all the cool maker things, and sometimes just like the cool nib grinds.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, who else is going to let us prattle on about pens for hours other than pen people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always at a pen show.
Amazing.
Otherwise, 2 to 3.
Or 3. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
I was thinking about taking 6 pens for a month-long trip. Maybe I'll bump that up to 10.
So I'll tell you what, I don't know where in Europe you're traveling, but I think you might buy some. So
that's the thing.
Yeah, they might not need the 10, but you take the case for 10.
Yeah. You could take space for 10. You could take space for more than 10.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. I always like.
Oh my God!
I have found.
I'm laughing at reading the comments. Sorry.
Like I have, or like my Parker Black Tassie came from an antique store. My aunt just got a Parker 45 from an antique store. Like I always want to have a pen case so that if we're out on a vacation and we happened upon a vintage store or an antique store, I have the ability to buy a pen. Because I also have the knowledge to buy a pen from an antique store now. For a long time, I didn't. But there are pens that I could definitely buy from an antique store and confidently go, I know that this pen is okay, and I know that it's real.
Yeah.
There are brands that I can't do that with, but there are brands that I can do that with. Okay. So I've started to fly home with the cartridges, still in them, and haven't had any problems. So I'm not worried about leaking anymore. That's totally fair.
That's perfect.
I
need to try that.
Yeah. Definitely have to bring some empty rickshaw pen sleeves to pen shows.
Yeah.
So
or you can get them there.
You can get
a new pouch there.
As Shannon learned at Chicago this year, maybe she needed more pen cases than she had. Because maybe Shannon took home a bunch of my pen cases.
Oh, that's good.
So at some point, I will pick them up. Probably after we're back from vacation. I don't even remember what your initial comment was. Oh, I should elaborate more too. I always wanted a Lamy 2000 and a Safari, then a TWSBI, sometimes an Eco, sometimes a Diamond. 820 Airline, sometimes both. More recently, my needlepoint SD comes too.
Yeah.
This is a comment that goes, I only need this. But if I'm taking that, like I have to take that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. Like if you have like different nibs for different uses.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like as long as they're all in use, what's the problem?
Yeah.
An Alexandra pile has been started. Yes. I'm looking at, I think, one pen case or one pen sleeve here. And I'm like, I have so many more. And I forgot who had them. I was like, how did I lose all my pen cases? And then I realized that they went home with Shannon. How many pens does Kari bring to Alexandra's?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I brought most of my pens except for some Chinese pens. I think I brought the whole thing.
So, rough ballpark estimate?
Yeah, about 200 pens went there.
And they were all inked. It was a great time.
Yes.
We had a great time.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, there are definitely pen stores in Prague.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
There are definitely pen stores in Prague.
Yeah, that's a good place to be.
I would love to travel to Europe.
Yeah, it's been a year for me, but I miss it. It's just.
Rose Cyclamen is one of my favorite inks. Anita actually saying that Rose Cyclamen. I like that ink.
Apparently, they've decided they might need to bring an extra pen case with them just to be prepared.
Smart.
I approve of that idea.
Yes.
I don't disagree here. Shannon, I'm a bit jealous of Lori right now. I'm not jealous of the fact that Lori ended up in the absolute mess that was French transit.
Yeah, France was a mess last week or this week.
France was a mess yesterday. It was yesterday that the cables got
water. They got flood.
No. The train cables were cut.
Yeah, they were stolen.
Yeah, and that was what disrupted Lori's travel in France. And so I was jealous of their trip, but then I saw that drama on her Instagram and went, maybe not.
But I would like to have drama in Europe than having drama here.
I just want no drama. No drama.
But if you have to have drama.
Fair enough. Are there pen brands that are cheaper to buy in Europe than North America? Normal retail, not thinking about the current tariffs.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say yes. I think Leonardo pens are cheaper in Europe.
Most of the Italian pens are.
Yeah.
Italian pens are cheaper in Europe. And then Japanese pens are cheaper in Japan.
And depending on where you are in Europe, because I think Lori was the one that talked about this, you sometimes have access to Japanese pens that aren't available in the States.
They are exclusive for a certain market.
Well, like exclusive Japanese models that we don't see in the States but are imported into certain countries in Europe because that model does perform well there. Like, I think Lori picked up a pilot of some sort the last time she was in Europe.
Yeah, she did.
That is a model that's not available in North America because it's just not a model that does well here.
Yeah. I think all the models will do well everywhere in the world, but I don't know why they have this kind of, it is only North American pen. I think we should open to all the people in the world getting the pen. I don't know why they do this, like only in North America. What does it mean? That you cannot get it anywhere in the world?
Well, do you really want me to explain? Seriously, do you really want me to explain?
Yes, of course.
So it's based on market research about what pen models actually sell. Shannon opened this can of worms last night by accident.
Don't get me started.
Don't get me started. So it's based on market research on what pen models, what are selling, what sizes of pens are selling, what nibs are selling, are gold versus steel selling, what carat of gold is selling. Overall, resin pens by makers like Jonathan Brooks perform better in the North American market because we know Jonathan.
Yeah, that's why I'm a little surprised about Italians. Italians do like their own stuff, and that's what I was a little surprised that they're embracing Jonathan.
So there's literally no way for every market to have every single model of pen. It is prohibitively expensive, and it does not make sense for a brand to import a model that they cannot sell at scale. So if you're only moving 200 units of one model a year, if you're only selling 200 Coconos in whatever colorway a year, you don't import that color to North America. You import the clear or the pastel-y ones that they've just done that do sell well in North America.
Yeah.
And
but
so
when there is a hype on a pen, because there are some pens that have this incredible hype.
Hype does not, as somebody who's worked in the watercolor world and now works in a weird way in the pen world, hype does not equal sales.
Yeah, well, you know it best with the neon motor.
Yeah.
That's the best one.
Yeah. Hype does not equal sales.
Yeah.
Like, I was part of a palette launch that had so much hype around it. Like, people were really excited about it. And I can't tell you how many sold, but I can tell you it was a limited edition collection that was released in 2023 that's still in stock.
Oh, wow.
And it had dozens of inquiries before it was actually available for sale. So hype about a product does not equal purchases. And there is no reason for a company to bring in products that, according to their statistics, are not going to perform well on the North American market.
Yeah.
We just don't see it because there's literally no reason to do it.
Yeah. Do we have any more questions?
No, just that apparently Pilot would sell so many more pens if they had more variety. Pilot doesn't need to sell more pens.
I mean, they've known. They've been around for a while.
You can go and watch Jacqueline's interview with Hemingway that was released yesterday. Pilot doesn't need to sell more pens. Pilot is safe.
Yeah.
And Pilot North America and Pilot Japan are two different entities. And I think people don't realize that.
No, I mean, a lot of people don't.
They are two different things.
And they also manage inside the company two different type of a line of products. So you get the just the traditional friction pens towards the fountain pens, which is a complete luxury product.
And at the end of the day, fountain pens at Pilot are an incredibly small percentage of sales.
Yeah, compared to the other packet of amount of pens that they have. They have those, like, I don't know, fine tips with the liquid ink inside. I don't remember what the V Pilot or something.
They've got the Pilot V5, Pilot V7.
V7. Then they have the friction Pilot. They have the gel. They have the, oh my goodness.
If I had to guess, and we are going to be very clear, this is a guess. I have no access to the background data of Pilot. All I know is what is available on the internet and the few conversations I've had with people over the years. I would guess that fountain pens and inks and everything account for less than 7%.
Yeah.
And potentially way less than 7%. I might go as low as 4 or 5% of Pilot's total revenue as a company. They're doing well. And don't get me wrong, I love a Pilot pen. Pilot fountain pens are great. As people have said, we shill Pilot on this channel.
Yeah.
But
I like my
they are not a struggling company.
No. I think we need to support more pen makers because they kind of compete with those mega brands, especially Pilot.
So to end this show, we're naming pen makers because we haven't done enough today.
Yeah, let's do it. Right Turns.
Carpet Bay Studio.
All right. London Pen Company. We have
Abigail that we had on the channel.
Abigail Markov.
Yes.
White Bear Pens, Michaela.
White Bear Pens, Michaela.
Heinz Pen Co.
Oh, yes. Timber Elegance.
Black Robin Pens.
Black Robin. Mayfair Pens. You have a Mayfair. You just showed.
Yeah, I do.
Skogsy.
Yes. Analog Pen, Gravitas Pen.
Zodiac
Pens. Yes.
Papa J Studios.
And Derail Pens. We have
Heinz.
I
don't know that if I've said Heinz or not yet. Newton. Sean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Newton Pens.
And I love that people are now sounding off in the comments. Go for it.
Yeah.
This is Sean, Ian. How did I forget Ian?
Sean Design.
Well, you know, we could actually have him over, or we will have more makers over.
Oh, I have a Basuki Pens. It's a pen maker from Greece, which I adore. Yeah.
Karas Penco. Who I did not meet until the Chicago Pen Show this year, but they are lovely people.
Yeah.
Trying to see if I've got ink bottles from any other small makers.
I mean, Rob, our friend Rob.
Yeah, Rob. River City Company.
I feel like the thing is, I'm going to feel really bad that we've forgotten somebody, and I know we've so clearly
I'm
forgotten.
just trying to figure out visually that entrance on the left room at the Sip and Show that you go around. Canilea Pens. Hardy Pen Company.
Oh, yeah, Hardy
Pen Rights. What else? I'm trying to go around that that circle of pen makers.
I've now gone to who's following Newton. On a Whim Woodworks.
Yep.
Yes.
Just Pernings.
Oh, by the way, there are so many pen makers from India that I met last year at the Pen Show. There is Akriv. I don't remember the other ones. But yeah.
We should have like
Orly also, it's a pen maker from India.
I think we should have a dedicated show for that.
Benu
Franklin. Okay, again, people are catching our mistakes. Franklin Christoph, Pascal Pens, Springfield Pens. Lisa Marie of Poorly Controlled does not make pens, but she makes some of the best blanks in the industry.
Right.
Walltown Pens.
Yes.
Oh, Little Pen Company.
Maverick Pens. Did we say Hogtown? Hogtown's based in like Toronto.
Okay. They're in
Canada.
Great.
Pens by Casey.
Yes.
Kevin Zog. Pens by Pascal, who also does some of the coolest blanks in the industry if you want to play with light.
Yeah.
Hello Tello Studio.
Yes.
Yeah, he does the Venetian mosaic type of thing.
Yeah. I'm sure we've missed other people. Oh, Atelier Lusso.
Yeah.
Oh, Atelier Lusso, yeah.
All right. I'm sure we've missed people. We apologize if we've missed you.
All right. So
I'm
here's
so
the
sorry.
thing. I'm thinking that Eric from Atelier Lusso would be game coming on that show because I asked him sometime.
Yes.
I would love to talk to him.
We could have him on,
Yes.
and we could have some other people on. And if you're watching this after we're done with live, leave us some comments who you would like to see.
Yeah. Exactly.
You can also leave comments on both of the other platforms this now is streamable.
Yeah.
You can find us in Instagram. We all have YouTube channels, but I am mainly Instagram user. I do little content in YouTube. Marina, you have also active YouTube and Instagram. Alexandra, huge
Very
YouTube.
active.
Yes, huge YouTube. Less Instagram, but yes, Instagram. So
Yeah.
please support us. Ranga Pens, yes.
All of the links to everyone's socials are down in the description. And have a good rest of your week.
Have a good one. And I'm at 5% of my laptop. So.
We've run your laptop dead. We've had a good show.
We had a good one.
Yes. Oh my goodness, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.